Do you have any questions before we get started?
You're really energized. I like to go
am.
slow.
Okay.
I mean, are you Channel 9 anchor?
I was on Channel 9 for 20 something years.
No.
Yes.
I don't have any questions. I don't want to get too detailed.
Honey,
I like to be.
We're talking about sex.
I know, but there's a way to do it in a nice way and a way to do it where people aren't creative about it. So we'll see where we go.
Okay.
I have no idea what this podcast was about. I thought it was about cookies.
Okay. Well, you're in for a treat, my dear.
It's crazy, like how much the world is sold with sex, but yet it's supposed to be bad. And the whole feminist movement has got, I do jokes about it. It's a complete mixed message of like, you know, women with blue hair marching on the streets saying, "We're not me," you know, which totally agree with. And then you go to Instagram and you've got women there wearing thongs, selling fit tea, saying, "Buy my tea." Now, people are going to say, "What is that? Are you sexist? You misogynist?" No, I'm not. I'm saying is there's clearly thirst trappings going on. If you want to, don't sexualize. I don't know if I made that point correctly. You get it, but you have to be so specific because people will get upset. But basically, in a nutshell, the women's movement of women empowerment, how do I say this? Not being sexualized or not just being sexualized, which I don't just sexualize women. And I don't know how many guys do, but I don't. I grew up with a lot of sisters. So, but when I think that movement gets hijacked by Instagram with all of people use, you know, men and women, but I'm attracted to women. So that's what I look at, sexualizing themselves. And then the movement, like sell fit tea, do whatever you want. Like, for instance, I did this joke, a mixed message, like women, like, you know, women, I had this whole argument with a woman. She said, "I wear yoga pants where they're comfortable." And I said, "Well, a couple of years ago, I thought women wanted us to look at their butt." And she goes, "No, that's not true." And I go, "Well, they used to write across their butt. They used to write juicy,
Yes.
pink. What's the message? Like, you know, why don't they write other stuff? Like, you know, entrepreneur, you know, equal pay, you know," and people get really mad at that.
Right.
What I'm saying is, you know the drill. You've got people saying one thing and people doing another thing, and there's a lot of nuance in the middle.
Right. As a comedian, isn't it getting tougher and tougher because we're getting so PC? Like everything pisses somebody off. Do you find that you can still tell the same jokes you used to be able to tell 20 years ago?
I mean, I'm definitely more than I have been. Like, I don't know, more vocal, but you just have to come with receipts. You have to come with a lot of backup, because if you don't make your point strongly, you'll just be labeled something, an ist or an ism, or remember there was a whole free nip movement?
Oh, yeah.
Well, there was 20,000 women marching topless in downtown LA because they wanted to free their nip.
Right.
But guys couldn't do that. We couldn't walk out and just be like, "Hey, John, let's hit the streets, free the tip."
Right.
So what I'm saying is there's a lot of mixed messages with sex.
Yeah.
And I think that I'm paranoid. You can see that I'm trepidatious because, do you know Katie Couric said this the other day? She said, "This is in your world and you're smart and you're Asian." That's a joke, everybody. So you work in the news, okay? Katie Couric said, men who are more powerful in the power structure, having sex with someone or a woman less powerful than them, could always be considered sexual assault.
Oh.
She said that, not verbatim, something along that lines on E! News. I was like, what?
Wow.
You want to talk about inflammatory, dangerous line? So that means any rock star that ever had sex with a groupie, that's assault. Any actor, any athlete, any boss and the secretary that had fun, that's assault. Like, no one was like, "This is awesome." Yeah, that how many women worth 10 million have sex with a guy that works at Chili's just as much as how many CEOs have sex with the secretary. I mean, if it's all consensual, that was just a weird thing to say.
Right, right.
And so that's the type of shit that fucks all this shit up. You want to get really blunt. And then she's like, I worked with Matt Lauer for 11 years. I never knew nothing. Okay. Then you're a terrible fucking reporter. Then you're a terrible reporter. Like, so that's the type of shit. So that's why you got me and other guys like, whoa, like I've been fortunate. I've seen nothing too crazy in Hollywood, and I've done a lot. But I've never seen anything illegal. I don't think I've ever seen anything amoral, but people's morals are different. So I have to like be blunt with that. But like what you're talking about, I would talk about so easily pre-2017 before the great wokeness. But once MeToo happened, that's a different thing. Now, obviously, you're talking all in the consensual realm, but it's like me or any dude I know like me, I don't flirt with women. You do nothing. I'm just like fucking, I look at a woman, they say, you look like you got a great business mind.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I can see why.
So let me ask you your take on this, because I'm probably going to get in a lot of fucking trouble.
Okay.
So OnlyFans really, it's been around for a while. I've known it for a while. And I actually knew, because people forget the porn business, porn stars always are really push the technology forward. Everyone in technology owes a debt to porn. They started the paywall, all that stuff is porn. And then mainstream adopts it and blah, blah, blah. So, you know, Hollywood and porn are not that far off. So all these porn girls were doing it, and they were just like cooking and topless and stuff like that. They weren't even that, and then they obviously got a little crazier with it. But like, so now like quote unquote more traditional people have been doing this. And then obviously in the pandemic, it's been a whole to do. So my question is, there's this whole thing called sex working.
Mm.
Now, how do you feel about that title?
Because I've talked to people, sex work includes everything from, you know, the girl who's getting paid on Instagram for flashing her titties to the person who's providing full service sex work to everything else in between. So let's say you're charging people to look at your feet. That's sex work. You're charging people to watch you and your partner get it on. That's sex work. Sex work is so like wide. Everything is sex work now. And really, Jamie, can you blame people? Like if I have to, you know, go out and bust my ass to earn minimum wage versus stay at home, post whatever, and get paid by a bunch of, you know, guys all across the country, what would you do?
No, I agree with you, but I hate it when people get sensitive about the term sex work.
Oh, you mean like they get offended by it?
Yes.
Oh, well, but it's all sex work.
No,
you're making money off of something.
It shouldn't be really called sex work. Some of it can be called sex work. If you're doing feet, call that feet work, okay? But for like sex work is this beautiful little bow that we put on it. If you're taking a yam and shoving it up your hoo-ha, okay, that's not sex work, okay? That's whoring yourself out, and there's nothing wrong with that.
That's horticulture.
We whore ourselves out. And the thing is that I'm an attention whore, right? I want to go on stage for people's attention. So I'm an attention whore. I don't call it attention working. So I don't know. There's all of this, like, there's so many levels to this. I feel like we kind of fucked up because I was like, I think we got to take one topic and go off on it. But, you know, I know you got to go. But I don't know. We have to edit some of this. I don't fucking know.
Do you have any fetishes, kinks, anything that's kind of weird? Oh, here you go. See, when you do that, it means diplomacy.
No, I'm not that guy. Trust me. I'm not that guy.
You're not. So
I'm not that guy. I'm not the guy that's diplomatic. I'm just not the guy that's like, have you watched some podcasts now and people are like, oh, I was sucking, you know what I mean? There's a way to talk about it in a cool way.
Right.
Do I have fetishes? No, you know what? I've always been about like I like BJs. Is that bad?
Oh, that's normal. That's normal.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not really like a kink guy. I've been about like, if I'm turned on, let's get it going. But I've never been like people, like I never understood people who put food with sex. It's like, no, sex, I'm horny. Let's get that going. I don't want to put chocolate syrup somewhere and then it gets messy and then it's a lot of carbs and your sugar blood sugar level goes up. I mean, it's like just sex is sex. But no, I don't need, I like to feel good. So the basics, but obviously I like freedom.
How about like BDSM?
BDSM is, what does it stand for?
Oh, they call it impact play.
Is that like a BBC?
Like if you smack someone on her ass.
That's a type, that's a felony now.
That's a felony. Not if she wants it.
Do you have to be like this in sex now? I would like to smack you. Is that okay? Yeah. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, let me just get my thoughts out on it. I don't like any of that stuff with pain. Never been into that. Like, I've heard stories of like girls wearing like 9-inch heels and stepping on a guy's ball bag. Like, like, I don't like any of that. I like to feel good. You know what I mean? All I love, and I ask for my partner, is a passionate woman. That's all. Who really loves it. You know what I mean? That's all I love. Then the more passionate a woman is for you, the more excited the man will get. It's like, oh my God, she desires me so much. And that's like, ooh, that's what I'm into. I'm not like, I don't need someone taking a small cantaloupe and trying to jam it, in my ear hole, or I never got any of that stuff. But, I'm sure people like it. I mean, I do like, a nice outfit now and then. That's not bad.
Oh, you like lingerie. So you're into lingerie.
Yeah, I like heels. I think heels are great. I know that would be sexist to say now, but like heels are great. You can't, but I love a good heel. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay.
Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah. So no BDSM type impact play. No choking.
Give me an example. Give me an example. I'm joking.
People like that,
Yeah, usually the women, what guys like, hey, choke me to a girl? I mean,
well, there have been cases where guys actually accidentally die choking themselves.
Oh, that's the whole
yes. So no, not for you. No. All right. And not into the bathroom stuff. I don't even want to talk about the bathroom.
Oh.
No, don't. You know what they call that?
German?
The Japanese actually kind of like that too. I don't know if you've ever, but there are people there are people into everything. There are people who are turned on by vomit.
Oh!
I'm just here today to gross Jamie Kennedy out.
Like, none of that's disgusting. That's damage. You have to look at that. You got to look at yourself and go, what makes me like that? You know what I'm saying? And you got to be like, oh, I was probably damaged. I mean, you have to understand, God, now you just went to a whole other this podcast is going to just, okay. So Doc, let me ask you this. Here's a good one. I should have you on.
Okay. Yes. Dr.
Drew was a guy that told me every single female in porn is damaged.
Oh.
And I said to him, and this was probably 12 years ago, I said, I think there's a couple percentage there and stuff, but yes, I agree with you. And as I've gotten older, I kind of agree. And I'm not saying it's bad. There's manageable damage. We all have damage. But there's a difference between somebody taking Oxycontin to get through their work, and there's other people that are compartmentalized and stuff. So as I've gotten older, I can see everyone, not really one person, but waking up going, I want to do this for a living, but I'm not shaming it. But I am saying there are still people. I have met women that I think are very sexual and very freaky and completely healthy. I've definitely met people in porn that I think a couple of them were very, very, very well adjusted, but maybe I'm crazy. Maybe
Well,
he would try to poke a hole.
I think anymore these days, people can end up in porn who didn't have that damage. I would agree that a lot of people are
Yes.
interviewed, right?
Yes.
But today, the porn stars of today, the new ones,
That I agree with.
it's more about money.
That I agree with. I feel that it is becoming. Do you find that sex is becoming much more transactional?
Yes.
I do agree with you there. And I do feel that everything you're saying, I agree with you. Like the apps, the swiping and all that stuff. So like, I am like a millennial, even though I don't like them, but I'm also like an old lady in other ways, but I'm not. Like, do whatever you want, just be careful. And the problem is not the being careful part, it's the hurting people's feelings and people saying they want one thing and the other people not accepting that and all that stuff. But in a nutshell, the younger generation, I think, are very open about sex and very open about their gender, and they just want to be like, hey man, I just want to live.
Right.
Don't judge me. And I think that's cool.
So let me ask you something. We'll see how open-minded you are. Okay. So you say you're straight. You're so easy. You're so easy. I just say one thing and you laugh.
Straight.
Okay.
Straight is
what?
Straight is going to be the new gay.
Straight is going to be the new gay. Well, we're not far from it.
Do you know what I mean by that? It'll be like, if you're straight, they'll be like, "Ooh, he's straight."
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead. I say I'm straight. Yeah.
Okay. But and I'm sure you're not homophobic, but have you ever been in a situation where, okay, I'm just going to come out and ask you. So you have romantic feelings for women, but if you were in a situation, it was sexy and a guy wanted to blow you.
Does he have a beard or no beard? This is so funny that you say this.
Oh, why?
So what are you saying?
I'm just asking you, do you think that maybe you might let it happen if you're that open and experimental? Like, yeah, it's a guy, but if you turn the lights off, it's still just another mouth.
That's so funny. People say that. I love the softness of a woman, the suppleness of their skin, the curves of their body, the voluptuousness of their hips, the nape of their neck. You know what I mean? I love the smell. It's like a dude is a dude. But
a mouth is a mouth. Like if you, okay, Jamie, we're going to kidnap you. We're going to put you in a dark room.
I mean, if it's a dark room and it's like, chef's choice and it's like, oh my God, that's amazing. And I look up and the guy's like, it's Bruce. And I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? Like, but I wouldn't want that, or I'm not into it.
Well, I know.
But it's like, probably a guy would end up doing it better than most.
Haven't you ever wondered? Haven't you ever wondered, like, if a guy, because he has the equipment, if a guy is really good at that? You've never wondered that?
No, I don't think because I've always been, how can I say this? Maybe I'm traditional. I love the softness and the sweetness and then the unbridled wildness of a female. Do you know what I'm saying? You protect them and you devour them. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So in a way, if I'm going to be with a dude, I'm going to have to be the devourer. And then I'm like, I'm going to eat you up, motherfucker. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? And he's got shoulders that are broader than me. Yeah. And I'm like, am I putting him in a headlock? It's, get the fuck, is it jail now? Like, to me, it's another dude who's rough and tumble. Even though like I'm crazy and wild, whatever vibe you get from me, you probably get a little rough and tumble, right? So I don't really wake up in the morning and go, I wonder what guy can blow me today.
Well,
No offense, but no, but
come on,
it's probably
Come on, Jamie, live a little.
But because I love it with, like I said, like the women, like the protecting and devouring, and the fact that that's what it. But you know, maybe I am. Is that closed-minded to just go, I really like women?
No, you like what you like.
Yeah.